BG&E. I received an email from CSX. The railroad ties in the CSX North and South crossing of Main Street are in need of repair. And CSX Hanover subdivision has scheduled to replace these ties next year when they plan to renew all the ties on this rail line.
Got next year's 12 months.
That's all they said, next year. It's going to be scheduled next year. So when I find out when it's happening, I'll let you know.
Can you find out if there's any reason why they don't put the rubberized material in there instead of the old wooden?
He didn't say, but I will ask.
And they're in pretty sad shape, so earlier is better.
I know, I've been trying to reach him for years. I think they put a little asphalt in to try to repair a little bit. But I've been going back and forth with them for years. Our commercial and residential projects continue to move forward. We are currently working on several different site plans and business prospects. A public hearing is going to be scheduled for Han's concept site plan at the September Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Currently, the company is meeting with IDA to discuss the design of their new building and to make certain it is within guidelines of the covenants of the property. And Ridge Engineering plans to begin grading work on their project within the next 2 weeks. They have a lot of equipment that's been brought out. For our finance department, Cheryl continues to close out FY22. Auditors will be on site the week of September 12th to conduct the year-end financial audit. And then the workers' comp auditors will be in the office on September 7th. Judy posted a public works water operator position. It was advertised and we've received 5 applications thus far. This position will replace Mike Harris when he retires.
Are we doing better than the last time?
We are. For parks, at the end of this month, Judy will be applying for Community Parks and Playground grant. The application is requesting funds to build an inclusive ADA compliant playground with a regular swing set at Panther Park adjacent to the existing playground. Carroll County has submitted their request for program open space funding to the state, and it includes our request for $138,608.40. This will fund the expansion of the Sugar Maple Park. For our town welcome signs, Strickler Signs installed the concrete footer and bracket of the new welcome signs. We had asked them to stop the project temporarily, but kind of cross communications. But we need approval to have our northern sign located on the IDA property outside of our right-of-way and easement. And IDA has a board meeting on August 31st, and they will discuss it at that time.
Didn't we put it back in the same spot?
Yeah, but nobody asked for approval before. It's not exactly in the same price. It's a bigger sign, and it's 5 feet further into the property. I don't think it'll be a problem, but they're going to ask the board. Our new website's live. I don't know if anybody's seen it. Christina's still scrubbing the information and correcting formatting, but it looks really good.
Neat pictures, Chief.
Did you take pictures of, oh, you mean of each officer?
Yes, including the chief.
We have those pictures. Yeah, we have those pictures.
Okay, well, they need to be on, they're not on the website yet.
They were there. I think she's probably just moving stuff around. So, we need some more. Gary Lee, who takes pictures for the farmers market and helps out with music in the park. The main part of the website, it has to be like a long picture. So he's going to take more pictures that we can use for the website because it's long and skinny. It's not a regular picture the size of it. Yeah. So he said at events he'll take more pictures for us that we can put on the website if we need them. The next Hampstead Merchants Association event will be the Vino at the Vineyard on September 15th at Galloping Goose Winery. If anybody would like to attend, just let me know. We'll probably get a table again this year. There's a hand in the audience that would like to go. For our water project, Mid-Atlantic Utilities has received a partial shipment of materials for the asbestos pipe removal and replacement project, and they hope to receive another partial shipment in September. So the contractor plans to complete most of the project this fall, which will be replacing the pipe under Gill Avenue, the portion of South Carroll from Gill Avenue to Shiloh Avenue, and then a portion of Shiloh Avenue. And then the rest of the materials are scheduled for January 2023 delivery, so the remaining work will be completed in the spring. Town staff and our consultant met with MDE to discuss solutions and possible fundings for PFAS removal from our water system. It was a very productive and helpful meeting. For WRCC, our stormwater projects with the Carroll County Water Resource Coordination Council, also known as WRCC, are in the concept design stage. So we have Hampstead Valley 1, which is a retrofit of the existing detention basin to a surface sand filter. The site's located just south of Lower Beckleyville Road near a production well. CLSI is currently working on a concept plan. Hampstead Valley 4 is a new surface sand filter and stream I cannot speak tonight. Restoration proposed between Century Street and Downhill Trail, and culverts at Downhill Trail require realignment into the HOA parcel for dam breach approval. And a revised concept plan was submitted on June 21st, 2022. The Robertsfield Wet Facility, there's a retrofit of the wet pond to a new hybrid wet pond submerged gravel wetland. And Wallace Montgomery and Associates has received comments on the concept plans and is currently underway with addressing comments for the next submittal. The North Carroll Library is in final design, that project, and due to summer outdoor programming at the library, construction of the underground. Elected our Superintendent of Public Works, Kevin Hand, to become the next chairperson of the WRCC. And he's also serving on the technical team, which is updating the water resources element scope.
Well done, you.
The Robertsfield Wet Facility, when are they going to have sketches, drawings, stuff we can show what's going to look like?
They have been in contact with the property owner that we need to obtain some of the property, and we should have those with by fall as well.
So we should sit down with the homeowners association in one of their meetings, just show them what's up.
The initial meeting will be with town staff and people from Fish and Wildlife, MDE, and getting their buy-in on the plan. Once we have a solid commitment from those entities, then we'll be moving forward with public outreach and all that stuff.
And I did meet with the
So
HOA.
is that still fall or winter?
I'm gonna say that's gonna be later winter.
Okay.
And I did meet with HOA when this was first being discussed, and of course I know how the HOA board changes over time, but no one had an issue with what we were working on at that time.
All right.
The three-prong approach. All three of these projects have to happen to eliminate all of our significant hazard dams. So that's why they're being worked on at the same time.
Yeah, we would take out that tennis court. It would be so sad. So, that wet pond down there is a dam. Significant hazard dam.
Yes.
And there's a house apparently sitting on the berm. So, on one of the berms. What you learn. And then, PFAS, there's been meetings going on a lot between MDE and our staff and the engineering companies that we've brought on board. And I think they're going to show up. I talked to Larry in November to give you all a brief on what's going on. But, carbon filters and higher operating costs and a lot of capital costs to do this. And we're trying to find out by end of this month, beginning of next, what that first phase will look like.
But I'm happy, Kevin, you can correct me. My concern was disposing of carbon filters, but I don't know what the name of them, but these carbon filters are cleaned and given back to you.
Correct. The media would be removed by it. A company would come in, remove the media, granulated, activated carbon, take it back to their facility where it'll be incinerated at a high enough temperature to destroy the PFAS bonds encapsulated in the media. And then that media would be regenerated and shipped back to us at another swap-out date when we need to replace the media in our vessels.
Which is much better than trying to just.
All this for 2 parts per trillion. So, all right. No editorial comments tonight. I'll save them for later. Oversight responsibilities, Diane.
Okay, thanks. As many of you know, the farmers market relocated from the water tower to along the front of the Pantherplex building the past 2 weekends to accommodate the fire department carnival. Most of our vendors and many of our customers had very favorable reactions to the new location. So Keith Johnson reached out to Copper Mine's property manager, Ron Schroers, and they agreed to moving the market to the new location for the remainder of the season. Having most of the vendors set up along the sidewalk made it much easier for customers with strollers and mobility challenges to browse and shop, and the parking spaces are closer to the market. Customer attendance and vendor participation were also much higher than they were during Carnival Week last year, when the market was moved further back to the middle of the parking lot. We appreciate the collaboration with Blue Ocean, Copper Mine, the Fire Department, and our Public Works Department in meeting everyone's needs during one of Hampstead's busiest times and most highly anticipated events of the year. We also had some events for the kids, including face painting and a visit from Santa Claus in July. Please keep following the Facebook page and website for announcements of other upcoming events, and we hope to see you all at the market.
How's the traffic been the last couple of weeks? Typically,
Pretty good,
It's been good.
really?
really good.
Good. All right. Usually it dies off a little bit in the beginning of August.
Yes, it has in the past. Surprisingly, it did not.
Good. All right, Wayne.
So the Hampstead train station's music in the park has been going pretty good. Here's our poster. You'll see it around town, different places. The last two bands have been $20 profit. That was the Saturday night where it was blazing hot. There was only about 50 people there, but they were very active, and the band was very good and very loud. And this past weekend, we had Middle Sister. The crowd wasn't as big as I thought it would be, but it was still a good crowd, and they were very well entertained. Everybody really appreciated the music. So coming up on the 27th of August, we've got Bootleg. And then on September 10th, we've got the Blue Moon Big Band coming up. That's a 20-plus piece band, big band, like Glenn Miller type. So that should be a pretty good draw, I hope. So hope to see everybody out there. And the train station continues to be open from 9 to 3 on Saturdays. I have a volunteer down there while I'm at the farmer's market. And we've had a lot of visitors in the last few weeks.
Good.
It's been nice.
Is the Northern News running anything between now and these last two dates?
I'm planning on putting an ad in the Northern News for the Blue Moon Band.
Well, he'd probably write an article about it.
Yeah,
I mean, we do a PR, he'll run it.
yeah. I'll hit him up.
All right.
Okay,
Well,
thank you.
If you give us something, Jim will submit it and it'll
Yeah.
appear.
Okay.
We just have to check the, I think he's submitting something every week for the next month, I think.
He misses this week, and I think next week that he comes back.
Okay.
Okay.
So the last one, we can do a little publicity for and hopefully get the crowd up.
Yeah, I'd love to get in his, what's happening this week. Can never get him to put us in there. But
You sent it to Jim, guess what?
I'll send it to James. All right. Tree Commission, obviously after the last month we've had with trees, we got a lot of offers for fall plantings, including Westwood Park, more willow trees on Willow Street, so to replace the ones that have been, shall we say,
Splinter?
Make it.
damaged and died.
Ground
So,
into the ground.
yeah, so we're looking forward to the fall planting. Hopefully there's going to be some money left. I'll have to check with Public Works, because I know that we've spent a fortune on trees here in the last month.
I have not graded your account for tree damage.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so that's it for me.
All right, Deb?
The Hampstead Planning and Zoning Commission met on Wednesday, July 27th, and approved two different signs, one at the House of Madness at 1220 North Main Street. We approved replacing their old sign that blew out in the windstorm with your trees, and the new one is going to be the exact same size. And the other sign was for Hampstead Pre-Owned at 1111 South Main Street. The existing sign doesn't work and cannot be repaired. The parts are no longer available. So going to be a new sign there. And the discussion of the draft for Chapter 9 of the 2022 Hampstead Comprehensive Plan Update, Economic Development and Activity. There are 4 more chapters, because you were going to
Thank you.
ask me.
Thank you. Glad I can telegraph it.
Yes. And for the Carroll County Department of Planning update, the Ag and Zoning draft was done for the County Water and Sewer Master Plan, and the Transportation Master Plan is still ongoing.
Okay.
The Hampstead Pre-Owned, that's replacing the LED sign.
Yes,
They plan to put another LED in there.
correct.
They turn it off by 10 or something, or it doesn't flash after?
Yeah,
off now.
it doesn't flash at all.
It's awful good.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it doesn't work.
It
Dave.
supposedly has a time limit, I think it's 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Got it.
They are aware.
Update on the cleanup at the Richards Family Cemetery Gardens. I want to thank Kevin and the crew coming out to clean up the trees that had fallen. I have plenty of wood chips now, more than I can ever use, so they left them for me. So the paths will be reconstructed, but I've had some people volunteer and they've come out and help us clean up the sticks and the mess and the stuff that caused by the storm, so get out and take a look at it. On the War Memorial Park, we have a couple updates. We got bids out right now. We're trying to get some quotes actually for a retaining wall, which we're trying to put in hopefully very soon. So we should have something on that. The electric and lighting, all the lights for the amphitheater have been ordered and will be installed upon delivery. Electric is being installed right now this week, and they're going to finish it up next week for the electrical hookups. And then we're working with Strickler Signs for a War Memorial Park sign that will be awaiting the layout designs for that and pricing for that.
Where are we putting those signs?
That's supposed to be up by the bench where the little
No, we decided, because we wanted to do a monument sign, but then it just, there isn't a good place to place it, and you want the War Memorial Park to be seen by traffic, so we're gonna put one on each side of the War Memorial. I don't know, have we gotten approval from the,
One more, we have 2 out of the 3.
from the American Legion said, okay.
Okay.
From?
One of the committee members,
Well, Bill Nash said yes, and Joe,
Yeah, Bill
Commander.
Nash is like the
Nash.
chairman of that.
Oh, okay.
Commander.
Commander, he has approved it, but there's one other person on the committee, and we're waiting for his final approval.
So is the plaque actually going on a side of the War Memorial?
On the outside.
Outside.
On the outside?
So you can, if you put one on each side of the outside, then you can see it coming north and south.
Okay.
Got it.
We need a sign on the side of that band shell.
But you really can't see it, because if you're driving, I mean, we can put a Town of Hampstead or something, but we were going to use that as an informational sign. But when you're driving north, there's so many, the flags and everything in a way, you really can't see anything. And when you're driving, even though I drive south for the sole purpose to look at the side of the amphitheater, I'm always looking at the traffic signal to see what the color is. Like, I don't,
It's paying attention to the road.
yeah. Right, Chief? That's what I'm supposed to be doing.
I think branding it would be a good idea. Ben?
Okay, water for last month, the usage was 337,000 gallons per day. And so far this month is 344,000 gallons per day.
Wow.
Rainfall last month was 6.16 inches, which is quite a lot. And then so far this month is 1.91 inches.
It's August.
Yes.
6 inches, right.
All right. Chief?
Good evening.
During the month of July, we investigated 2 reportable accidents, 8 minor property damage only accidents, and only 1 took place at the 42 Circle. Speed signs were placed at 8 locations for a total of 60 days of display. Specific traffic enforcement, we conducted 59 selective enforcements over a 34-hour period. 19 citations, 38 warnings were issued as a result of that activity. Overall traffic enforcement included 52 citations and 146 warnings. We conducted 525 property checks of businesses and schools. Crime included 3 DUIs, 1 assault of the second degree, 1 theft, 1 false report to police, and 1 malicious destruction of property. With reference to arrests, we took 3 adults into custody for DUI, 4 adults for various driving related infractions, 1 adult on an outstanding warrant, 1 adult for false reports to the police, 1 adult for a prescription fraud, and 1 adult for malicious destruction of property. Training included 4 hours of use of force review, hate crime training, and cultural awareness and diversity overview training. With reference to community events, we participated in the Celebree Child Care Center car parade and vehicle demo. Maybe 100 kids, that was a lot of fun. We participated in the Robertsfield HOA meeting, as we always do. First time in several years we participated. Officer Bogman was assigned to camp cops for the week. with various law enforcement entities from Carroll County. A lot of fun, great group. We also participated in the judging and the closing ceremony activities as well. National Night Out was moved this year. We tried something a little different at the War Memorial Park. First of all, thank you to everybody from Public Works, Town Hall. It's not just the police that make that happen. Everybody that did some work in there. We liked it. It seemed to go well. It was well received. And more importantly, I think our guys enjoyed it, and they enjoyed an opportunity to actually talk with people rather than be running the event the whole night.
And very well attended.
It was. It was a good night. We had fun. And with reference to the fire department carnival, we had no really significant incidents this year. We did, as we always do, participate and support those guys in their event, and I think that went well as well. Other than that, that's my report.
Questions? All right, thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
My report, relatively brief. Attended National Night Out. Thought the police department, public works, town staff, everybody did a great job organizing. It was great to see all of you there as well. And I thought the picture in the Northern News was kind of neat, where he stood up on the steps from the church and took a wide-angle shot of the entire crowd. But it really was a nice night. I wasn't around last week because I was on vacation with the family, but the Hampstead Volunteer Fire Company deserves a lot of credit for, once again, all the organization work, time, and effort that goes into that carnival. All these folks have full-time jobs, and I know a lot of them, like Kevin, take the week off and devote themselves to that. So well done. It means a lot to our town. On the mayor side, we've already mentioned all the meetings going on with the water system and been kept abreast of them, and there's a lot more coming. So it'll be a busy 6 months as far as how we go about tackling these issues. And then lastly, on the Maryland Municipal League front, I think I mentioned last month that we were in the process of interviewing for an MML executive director. We have that person. The board met with that person on Friday, August 5th. And unanimously approved them. Now we just need that person to sign a contract before we give out a name and have a press release and all that. But the person who's been chosen was of all the resumes we got, which was over 100. There were 6 in-person interviews, 3 came back for second interviews, and through the entire process, she was very top-notch. So, and I gave part of it away. Half the population's been eliminated. So, that's it for my report on, I don't think there's any unfinished business. On new business, we have the approval to make the following revisions to the personnel policy manual, and they're basically changes to reflect current state and federal local regulations, incorporate day-to-day policies that are already in place but not documented. Judy's been working on this, and one of the reasons we hired her. And you guys want to talk anything about it?
I just want to say, as you've noticed, she's working on it in segments. We did a blanket approval in February to change, make grammar corrections and gender-neutral language, and add in the chief of police where it was necessary. So that was a blanket approval. So we're looking at this as a blanket approval for, like the mayor just said, adding regulations that aren't in there. We have different policies that we practice. It just wasn't written within the personnel policy. And then, of course, once Judy works on segments of it, different pieces will come before the council, but when it's all finished, the entire personnel policy will come before the council for approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the plan as it's presented in this text.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, thank you. And then the introduction of annexation resolution 44, which is the Michaels property, was 28.823 acres located along the eastern side of Maryland Route 30. It's the eastern side of Panther Drive, and I guess south of 482 on the other side of the old high school. That'll be a better description. You guys want to say anything? Steve or Mr. Barrett? You don't have to.
No, we appreciate your putting us on the agenda tonight. We look forward to your referral to the Planning Commission and addressing any questions they may have so they can prepare a complete report and recommendation to the council. I'd like to introduce Louise Griffith, daughter of Elwood and Marjorie Michael, and her daughter Lauren. The family's been working collaboratively for some time with Steve Smith and his partners at Gaylord Brooks Real Estate. Steve is with us now too. If any of you have questions, we'll be happy to answer them. But other than that, the petition speaks for itself at this point. And thank you again.
Questions?
The farmhouse just on the north side of it, in between the high school, I guess not the Pantherplex now. That road that goes to that house, does that need to be shown on the drawing, or is it a right of way?
That's not our property.
It runs through the property that's going to be annexed in, though.
Yeah, there is a right of way on the property.
Okay.
That is not going to be implicated in the development, ultimately. The plat that you have is an annexation plat, which is, according to state code, is supposed to meet certain criteria. It meets that criteria. Obviously, if we were successful with the annexation and rezoning or zoning to the town, you're going to see a site plan, you're going to see a subdivision plat, and those kind of technical details in terms of continued utilization of the right-of-way or not will be addressed there. But we prepared the annexation plat to meet the state code requirements for an annexation petition.
So it doesn't need to include showing the right of way or mentioning it that it's on the property? And then they don't have a say of if their road gets annexed in or not?
No, it's our property. I mean,
They just have a right of way on the property, right?
Yeah.
So it's not their property they've been granted the right of way, so that'll be shown on the subdivision plan.
Okay.
We have a right to use our property subject to their right. And as I mentioned, we're not intending to interfere with that ultimately anyway. So again, we prepared the annexation plan, not as a development document,
No, right.
but as a plat that is to satisfy the requirements of the state code and apprise you. The other thing is, the owners of that property, like everyone else, is going to get the same kind of notice of what's going on here as the rest of the town will. So, if they have something they want to bring to our attention, in my experience, they usually do.
Yes. Okay. No, that's just my question. If they had any say because of a right of way on your property.
I will just mention this briefly. We have been in communication with the people who currently own the property that you're discussing with the farmhouse.
Mhm.
We actually worked together a few weeks ago when the storm brought down a tree across that was on our property but was blocking access to that driveway. And my older brother worked with the son of the man who owns the farmhouse, and so there has been communication back and forth. They are aware of our plans.
Any further?
So my question would be this, I'd like to know if that property owner has any interest in annexing into town. In addition to that, there's about 8 properties that are along Shiloh Road. We should probably see if any of them want to come in as part of the annexation. Usually what we do is we annex property and we try to see if adjacent property owners want to come on in and
We've had
trying to
those
straighten out our
discussions, right?
lines.
I understand. We don't have control over those properties, so all we can represent to you is what we have on the plan.
There's been some outreach done along here,
Mhm.
and apparently one of them is adamant no.
Yeah, but if there's 8 properties and 6 say yes and 2 say no, you can still annex them in.
All right,
That's the way it works. Who's gonna do the outreach?
it's already, some of it's already taken place.
Okay. But we've got property further down the road, and we could do the annexations all at one time, it'd be nice.
Okay.
Save time and money. Thank you.
Jim?
Part of the process with this, when we schedule it, be, once the annexation is introduced, it refers to planning and zoning, there's all adjacent properties and adjoining properties are notified via certified mail of the process, and they are asked if they would want to be a part of the process.
Okay.
Further questions? I don't think there's been a motion made. A motion to introduce annexation resolution 44.
So move.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Public comments? Going once, twice, 3 times. All right, we'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. And thanks, Carroll Media, for hanging out. It's crisp half hour.